last session, we resumed at the tense negotiations between the newly revealed Drakmire and the remainder of the party. Silyra had sent him down to introduce himself to everyone else and had returned to a room to sort of process things. Drakmire then descended down and began to converse with everyone else, talking about fairly veiled secrets amongst the party, to which they were not so happy with that, and Alastair had drawn his scythe. We picked up at that moment, and Drakmire...
Oh shit, get hit, Drakmire.
He seemed very calm, collected, and not concerned at all.
And hot.
That's a personal opinion. Yeah, so he discussed many things about the revelations that he has to share with the party, and everyone discussed what they were going to be doing next. Are they going to be attending the party with the Queen, or are they going to be following one of his many leads? To which one of them he brought up seemed to interest people, that Reezni's ex-wife, who is a total bitch,
irredeemable.
Yeah,
irredeemable bastard.
is working for Elwarin, who is the elemental plane of fire, apparently. Drakmire has conversed with a few associates of his and found out that she was within the city of Athendelne, and that they needed but go there and kill her to rid Elwarin of a powerful ally, provide them with a powerful artifact in the form of some sort of mask that Drakmire seems fairly fond of, as well as finally killing this total bitch and ridding her presence from the world. To which they discussed a plan to do so. Drakmire providing a number of potential teleportation sites. They decided on one finally, one that went to a temple of Bahamut within the city of Athendelne. It was decided that him and Alastair were the best people for the job because of their natural affinity for espionage and such. Mm-hmm. So they donned disguises of some old mage and his apprentice looking to further the word of Bahamut. And thus
I am Acolyte Xanax.
And thus they set out, stepping through the portal, and were confronted by a number of worshippers of Bahamut, or were about to. And that's, I believe, where we left off.
There was only one scribe candle, right? Or like a set of two?
There was a set of two, yes.
Yeah, and Hammerfell has the other.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have, and it's a set of two trick tubes?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so I could give Alastair one before he goes.
If you like.
Sure.
You could have done that.
Yeah, it's the trick tubes. Basically, you put a scroll in there, and then the other one gets the scroll.
Oh, so you can send me scrolls. Bet.
Yeah, we can send mail back and forth between each other.
Oh, that saves me having to cast Dream to give information. He can write horribly.
It is 3 inches in diameter and 1 foot tall. Anything placed inside. Yeah, it's not just paper. Anything inside, enclosing the lid, teleports it to the other one, making a whoosh sound.
That's cool.
No, I'm preparing myself. He's only going to give information in the form of haiku.
Oh, jeez. The tube can't send more than 2 pounds of material at a time and can't be used to send a creature.
He will send one haiku poem at a time.
Alright, so the trick tubes are to Alastair.
We're going to open up on Sihnion and Silyra. Inside.
And Reezni.
Oh, and Reezni, yes.
Thank God, that lets me get my notes right.
Don't forget my boy. If Reezni goes away, we lose our only voice of reason.
Yeah. He's the most sane one here.
The teleportation circle spell was cast in one of your rooms, correct? I would like to know whose exact room it was.
It was Silyra's because she was the one that cast the spell.
Alright. Yes. Certain furniture had been moved aside, and the teleport circle makes not a large amount of noise, but noise nonetheless, and a fair amount of light occurs in the casting, or rather the finalization, like the 6 seconds where the spell has been cast and is currently within its duration.
And the last thing said, Alastair made a point to wait till the last second and say that his cat broke your dad's house.
He left out. And
Synion's gonna go to his dad's house immediately.
well, immediately, there is a knock on your door.
Synion's opening the door.
You see what appears to be a 5 foot tall, short and stout human with long black hair that, in comparison to themselves long, goes down to just like above the tricep, where you can see this wrinkled face of a man. Looks up to you.
What do you want?
Are you
hello?
guys the Order of Embers?
Yes?
Present?
He hands you a packet of papers and says, "Yeah, been served. Good day." And he walks
What?
away.
So, I'd take the papers.
Looking through it, you are currently the Order of Embers as a whole is being charged with conspiracy against Tinkodran. And
I love how the two suckiest characters just escaped.
And you are being charged with conspiracy against Tinkodran. There have been numerous sightings of you tampering with the new underground thing that is being built, and when people checked down there, it was not what was described as being built. Rather strange large machinery, so you're being charged with interrupting work and also building a weapon that could devastate Tinkodran.
Synion's taking the fucking paper and is gonna storm out.
It says you dusted the brain, Sihnion.
Please.
What do you need it for? I'm gonna go talk to my dad, and we're gonna deal with it.
I would like to look into the law here in case we need to defend ourselves.
There's no defending. We just pay a fine. That's how it works.
Well, I would rather not have a criminal record in Tinkodran.
I'd rather they not even know you're here. So, I mean, unless you want to go snooping around and try to deal with this.
How would they not know we're here?
I mean, you specifically. How does that look on you? Committing conspiracy? Wasn't it like a year ago? Wasn't it a year ago that you were concerned you gave a blanket to someone?
Yes, that is why I would rather not have a criminal record.
Yeah, and that's why I'm gonna go talk to my dad, and we're gonna pay this off. When you're rich, you don't pay. When you're rich, you don't do crime. You just pay. It's the cost of business.
Sihnion.
That's how it works. My dad's probably the richest man here, so.
I would really rather not get out of this with a bribe.
It's not a bribe. It's called paying a fine. That's what they call it.
What are the do the papers say like the potential sentence?
Potential sentencing is if declared guilty, you could be fined the cost, not only the cost of repairs, but the cost of the fine associated with conspiracy and possibly quote-unquote treason, somewhere in the realm of 1.2 million gold pieces.
No, I think we need to prove our innocence.
Well, I'm gonna go talk to the man with the money first.
All right, and then we will look into the law here.
Mm-hmm.
Reezni, do you want to join us?
I can help you with the looking up of stuff. Yes.
Wonderful. Let's go then.
Sihnion will split off.
I'm still going to take the papers from Sihnion.
He does not give them.
I want to read them.
You read them, but you took them.
I would like to read them more carefully, please.
I can just copy them.
All right. Then I would like a copy, please.
Reezni will make a copy of the charge verbatim.
All right.
And
is it technically considered a forgery?
If it helps, then sure.
I'm proficient in forgery kits, so
let's go. You're very fast.
Yeah, he just writes it down from memory and just hands it over. We should be good to go.
Yes, I just want to see the exact wording of this.
Mhm.
You begin reading through it, and you begin heading over to the Stalnheim residence, and we'll go ahead and switch back over to Drakmire. And
Alastair?
yeah, there you go. You all are within a beautifully wide and arched Church of Bahamut, made with differing colorations of gray stone, limestone, and marble. Currently, there are two priests bathed in robes of gray and white, or rather silver and white, that are approaching you. An older gentleman with a long white beard, somewhat short, at least for an elven individual. Alongside him appears to be a half-elven teenager. As they approach, the elder of the two will speak up. Good evening, gentlemen. Are you blessed of the Platinum Dragon?
Drakmire currently looks as
Yep.
a rather similar figure, wearing blue robes and has a very long white beard. Seems to be some sort of very ancient human-looking wizard.
Yep.
Will say, "Oh, excuse me, young man, you'll have to repeat that. Where are we exactly?"
You are in the... What?
This is gonna go great.
Old man and old man.
Yep.
And then the young spry Xanax.
Yay!
You are in the Alabaster Church of the Platinum Dragon, of course. Do you teleport here by mistake?
Oh no. I have received your inscription for the circle in a vision, gifted to me by the Grand Dragon. We are here on a holy mission in his stead.
Oh, blessed be! You see the younger individual, it's kind of sussing you both out, like kind of staring you out. The old man seems completely into it. The other one is going to make an insight check.
Go for
If
it.
you would care to make a deception check.
Oh, I would.
I don't think it just doesn't seem physically possible.
That's because it isn't.
Are we gonna do a thing?
Oh no, at 29.
He seems to look at both of you, and then kind of realizing that there's not much to be looking into, kind of rolls his eyes and goes back to his normal pose as some kind of priest assistant.
Oh yes, thank you. Your helmet be with you.
And also with you.
We get to walk towards the exit. Come on.
How may I assist you in this conquest?
Oh, I have received enough from the visions. We are to find an ancient grand city of his design.
But it is, in my belief, I believe I have also witnessed a vision that sees me helping you through this.
Oh, is this the case?
Yeah,
Oh, have you heard of the city?
I have not. I believe he wanted me to meet you, and you would guide us to divine glory.
Oh, very well. I know where it is. Head north of Chisel. There you shall find it. Lost in ruin, consumed by a monster.
Oh, shall we take the circle to the church in Chisel?
I am afraid that my power has waned for the day.
I may
will need some time to
allow
recover.
us to... Oh, okay. Would you like to stay in the accommodations?
I believe that we will need some materials for further
Of course.
transportation. Do you have such things?
Chalks, I have my own set of chalks, but that, I'm afraid, is waning. I can begin packing and be ready to leave when you come back.
Yes, that sounds quite well.
Alright.
Does the city have such things? We have the coin.
Oh, of course, this place is that of magic, full of...
Where exactly are we? We are from the Plantine Empire.
Oh, apologies. Where in the Plantine Empire are you from?
The grand city of Artesia.
Oh, of course. believe that, not being around these parts, you would be able to find that within. Checking notes.
Like he's like super old, and like he's like, oh, hang on, and he like rapidly pulls out a book, flips through it, returns to old.
We are in the north end by the forest. You would find what you're looking for in the southwestern area.
Oh yes, wonderful. Thank you. We will meet you here in 3 days' time.
Of course. I will see you soon.
Yes. May his platinum glory be with you.
Yeah.
We'll start walking towards the door.
Alright.
We're following.
Alright. Make it to the door. If you'd like to exit.
Yeah.
I'll get the door for the old man.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
We have to keep up the charade.
You exit out onto rather busy streets just beneath what appears to be a canopy of forest. These very tall trees that kind of edge over this northern wall and give this area a fair amount of shade. Looking around you, there is a large plaza that seems to be dedicated to this church. A beautiful fountain atop of which is a miniature statue, well, like in comparison to, dragons, a miniature statue of the platinum dragon, made out of stone and silver that seems to coat the scales of this model. The water coming from the fountain seems to have a particular glow to it, almost as it itself is enchanted with some kind of metal. There are several benches around there. There are hedges that outline a beautiful garden where dozens of petunias and roses have been planted.
I'm sorry, metal in the water? Are we in fantasy Michigan? What the hell? Sorry, I had metal, excuse me. But Alastair's gonna whisper to Drakmire and be like, for people who worship the Platinum Dragon, you think they'd know to make the statue not out of silver. Just saying.
Platinum's expensive, bro.
The fucking church. Can your god of platinum not give you platinum, you broke asses?
No. Must be an oversight.
It's okay. Metal dragons suck anyway. They're stupid. They're boring.
After that, we're going to switch back to the legal crew. You three are quickly approaching the Stunamp residence, seeing the humble abode just upon its outside.
I think just Sihnion is going.
Imagine a
Oh,
world
is
where
it?
not which party was in
Oh,
which
Silyra will
problem.
go in if
I thought
Sihnion...
I thought you guys were going to go to the
Are you
look up
researching?
laws.
Oh,
Are
I
you
thought we
going-
were going with Sihnion to see his dad, and then we were going to the library.
No, you guys were splitting up. Sihnion wasn't going to go
Oh,
look
okay.
up laws. He's resigned himself to paying a large fine.
Okay.
All right. Then you are approaching the Stunamp
Yep.
resident with several open blinds now, as opposed to previously. They seemed always to be closed, but now open, allowing sunlight in. The place, it seems somewhat clean as you enter. Certain things are knocked off shelves, and certain pieces of trinkets are now shattered upon the ground, but otherwise not too much damage done. As you enter, you're here. Who goes there? From around
It's
the
me.
corner. Ah, son. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Damn! You hear like
Jeez.
a bunch of metal shatter upon the ground.
Oh,
That one wasn't going anywhere anyway. We'll go around the corner and meet you up. Oh, son. What brings you to visit me today? Or is it just visit your old man?
I'm here to visit a little bit. Had a friend of mine brought a pet or something over here.
Yeah, there's been some strange, terrible creature knocking stuff off of my off of tables and such. Yes, tentacled creature, horrifying.
That storm. This is familiar.
Is Storm still there, Alastair?
Storm is with them. It depends on which one of them took him when they left the hotel. He left them with Silyra and Reezni, though.
Oh, okay.
That's between them. I don't think Sihnion took him from them, did he?
No.
And then,
He,
no.
did,
Then
he thought he
Storm,
was here.
Storm isn't currently here, but
No.
haven't seen him in a while. But I feel like he's always just around the corner, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, what can I do you for?
Just coming to chat a little.
Alright.
Also had a question.
Alright. What's
But
your...
that can wait till later.
Oh, sure. Well, I can put on a pot of tea if that interests you.
It's fine.
That's fine as in yes, or that's fine as in no?
It's up to you.
Right? Sure, why not? Go put a pot on.
Yeah. We will just wait for tea.
The tea is brewed, appears to be pretty simple, just green tea that he eventually brings over to you, sets it in front of you. He has a bit for himself, he's sipping on.
Imagine Sihnion has. I'm not the best at small talk with, but imagine he has some. He just wants to catch up on just like
Yep.
how things have been in like the past 24 hours.
Mhm.
How he's keeping up with the change, the lost time and all.
He seems like it's kind of like a surreal experience. He explains that being back feels normal and completely out of whack at the same time. Because even though he can't remember those days, it was his life for a fair amount of time. He continues to go on about how he's anticipating some sort of legal action against him at some point, probably due to his name being on many things that he technically designed but didn't necessarily create, or the design was also not something he wanted to create as well.
Yeah. At the mention of that, he'll say, "Seems they pegged the wrong person."
What do you mean?
Present the papers.
Yeah, look at them. Well, this is nothing. We'll be able to get you. That's a big fine.
Yeah.
Right. Not exact.
One if there's some sort of labor thing we can do. I want to, seeing as we're big shot adventures and all.
Maybe, but if you want to, be credited, I mean, you certainly don't want this on your name, right? Aren't you trying to make a book or something?
I mean, yeah.
So you don't want to have this tied, do you?
Yeah,
Could go to court for it.
I suppose, but rather be acquitted than having to potentially be admitted.
Well, could be easy enough to deal with it, but currently you've been served, so no matter what, you're gonna have to at least report to this judge guy.
Of course.
Not gonna be a jury on the first meeting, but you have to go in or you'll be brought in.
Yeah.
If you manage to get the fine down a little bit, I can help you out. I have to go back to being working man after that, but it wouldn't be the worst thing.
Of course. If you don't mind me asking, where you sitting at? I know it's a lot, but
Yeah, it's kind of what I've been paid, but haven't been paid. I'll say, definitely below that 7 number digit, but definitely above, around half of that is where I'm sitting. But I could get you an attorney if you like.
that might be helpful. Though I'm certain one of our friends are on to just trying to become a lawyer in 72 hours, so who knows.
I think I could guess who it is. If this is what you got, then I'm willing to help you every step of the way. I can serve as, well, I'm not sure serving as witness would be a great idea, but certainly write a good character reference if needed.
Of course.
We continue catching up after giving standard dad legal advice. before we move over to Reezni and Silyra, who are quickly approaching the Crescent Moon Library. I believe is where you wanted to go.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
All right. Making it just outside that building, you can see building, a incredibly large building, likely somewhere between a mile and a mile and a half across. Massive complex. It stands completely made out of wood. There doesn't appear to be any stone except within the foundation. That is where the large wooden building meets the stone street. There's a bit of stone that connects the wooden building to the ground, but it appears to be made out of sturdy oaken wood, and the roof is massive and complex collection of coloration of blue tiles, differing blue tiles, whether it be light blue, baby blue, indigo, varying from delving into some colorations of green and some colorations of purple, but it is very certainly out there. It makes its presence known. And after reaching the front, you can see a large crescent moon upon the front of it that, looking at it, actually kind of resembles the holy symbol of Lugdo.
Oh.
But there are two large wooden doors that are currently open. They are pushed open to allow entrance. It seems like it would take a lot to open them, so likely something they only do once a day, close and open. And the inviting atmosphere from within, you can hear pages turning. You can smell that scent that is often associated with libraries and old books and parchment, alluring to likely both of you as you stare into the warmly lit interior of the massive Crescent Moon Library. What are you two getting up to?
Right. So the first thing we'll need to do is to familiarize ourselves with Tinkodran's legal system so we have some idea of how to build our defense.
Of course. It might also be good to maybe also look into some networking and try to see if there's any person who already knows that, and then we can focus more on the past cases and see how they go, though I doubt there's anything as high as this one.
Anything as high as this one? I'm
Like,
sure people have been charged with more serious crimes.
Usually they are kind of vigilantly done with, if they're anything greater than this. Usually this has the kind of thing that usually gets adventurers sent after you.
Oh.
I don't know. But
You
we can find
suggest
out.
finding someone higher up in the government, or
Oh, no, I was meaning finding a lawyer.
that was my
who already knows
next
who
suggestion.
already knows the legal system, and we just focus more on potential history and stuff instead of trying to learn how to be lawyers before the court date.
Yes, we could probably ask at the library. An attorney would have some way to contact them, I'm sure.
That is what we can look up first, and then after that, go about looking up historical cases, if they're open enough.
Yes, we'll see how soon we can meet with an attorney as well. And I would still like to look into the legal system here, just so we have some idea of what we're dealing with.
Yep.
We'll go in and
Start investigating.
this stuff. Yeah.
All right.
We want to know the things, Isaac.
All right, so
Tell us
what are
the
the exact topics? Because I know there were a couple thrown around there, but what have you settled on in terms of topic? Like, you can each declare up to 3, I'll say.
Can I actually find the legal code of Tinkodran?
I'll say this is going to be your first topic. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check. I'll go ahead and say this can be history. You do have expertise in that.
I do. I got the headband and everything, and also this is like Lugdo's library. So I will also say a prayer to them before we start
Very
doing
nice.
this stuff.
You are able to find a likely dated a year or two prior index of laws and exact semantics on the legal code of Suardan.
I am going to look for exactly the thing that we've been charged with and the exact definition of it and see how we exactly broke the law.
All right. So conspiracy is in this terminology within Sudan could mean it's kind of a broad term that gets more specific, but it could include treason, the intent to harm not necessarily the nation but the peoples of Tinkodran, or the intent to pursue a coup. And you have been charged specifically with two of these counts, one of which is treason. The other one is the intent to harm the peoples of Tinkodran. And you're being charged, you have not been convicted, so you're being charged with this due to the fact that you have been seen on multiple accounts by multiple people, including one distressed individual who works for the city of Tinkodran, a particular individual that manages, until recently, worked as the night shift manager of the automatons within that area, was the first to report you and then submitted his account of what occurred, that you all went in there. And immediately after this process began and that you guys were missing a couple of days when they tried to go over at specific times, but they eventually served you, and you are now required to report to this Judge Jeremy Monferno, who is one of 5 judges within the courts of Sudan. Looking at possible punishments, it could be a fine from anywhere from 500,000 to 3 million gold pieces, which is likely not to be paid and therefore labored away day by day. So while there isn't a prison system in Sudan, there's like a pretty intense mandatory community service
They just enslave you a
system.
little bit.
Yeah, we do a little bit of indenture servitude.
Your home is awesome, Sihnion.
They don't do jail though.
Yeah, you
Could
gotta
be
serve
worse.
your sentence outside.
Yes.
Yeah, have fun containing an eighth spell slot level caster. Silyra's gonna fuck the
Do
thing
it.
up.
The way the proceedings will carry forth is you will either report to them within the next 7 days, or you will be collected to report to them. Resisting that adds another charge, a separate charge that could add anywhere from 20 to 50,000 gold pieces onto your already existing fine. And there will be a meeting held specifically between you, your attorney, if they are with you, and the judge. And there will be a recounting of events from your side, and then the individual who reported this crime will also do the same thing, meet with the judge and tell their side of the story. And then it will be presented to a court of your quote-unquote peers. 3 ways to plead. There's guilty, not guilty, and no contest. You know, guilty pleas could potentially have some of the fine removed, and, you know, there is certain aspects that could allow you to lessen your crime if you are guilty, lessen your sentence, such as insanity and...
Plea deals and stuff.
Yes.
So, basically, we have been charged because someone saw us around the sketchy stuff. And
Well, you did also... Part of this charge is the fact that you held this individual kind of hostage.
Yeah, that sounds like us. We did that.
We did do that.
We did do
It was
that.
only kind of.
It was only kind of.
We
It was
could've killed
only
him.
kind of.
We could have killed him instead.
A little bit of holding people hostage.
We told him
Little
he
bit of
could go. We
hostage
said
in
don't
my
turn the robots
crime,
back.
a little bit of treason in my crime.
Send Alastair a note in the name of the judge. A picture of them.
But yes, this individual.
Should that go great?
Oh.
No.
I'll kill this fucker in his sleep.
So the only testimony against us is like actual testimony. It's not circumstantial evidence. Is
Did they not see the giant big brain in the... If they went and saw the big giant machine in there, they didn't see the big giant brain in the bottom? Pepega?
The brain that you dusted? Sihnion?
What about the
You
other
don't-
ones? There's
Also-
other mind flayers.
who has to
Sihnion?
prove
No,
their side?
Specifically, Sihnion dust all the bodies. I remember you doing that.
Didn't
Is
dust
it
all of
innocent
them.
until proven guilty?
Innocent until proven guilty.
Excellent. So the only testimony against us is the dude we quote unquote held hostage.
Yes.
Kill him,
Okay.
Silyra.
I feel like killing him would make us look more guilty.
Well, they also wouldn't be able to press charges against us anymore.
Yeah, but if they mysteriously die, that's gonna look really, really bad.
Well, they
And
don't
also,
die.
they're not the
They
only
just
one pressing
disappear.
charges.
There's no body.
Is Reezni suggesting this?
No. Did I do the Reezni voice? No.
That's why I asked.
Reezy's just gonna look up good lawyers.
Good lawyers.
Good lawyers.
All right.
Who has the most successful defense in civil
roll
courts?
Are bad lawyers acceptable?
No. If we wanted a bad lawyer, we could just ask Sihnion to be our to speak for us.
This one would just be a straight up intelligence check.
No history.
Because
Drakmire, we need to go back to help
I
these
get a
idiots.
+1. So that's a 23.
23.
Because it's on all skill checks.
Oh, there you are.
It doesn't do it from those checks for some reason.
There's
So-
two now.
So 20 or 22 if you're because I don't have advantage. Look at
All right.
us rolling a 21 and 22. High
You
five,
find
sis.
3 lawyers that seem to be in good repute. There is Jimmy Goodlawyer, an individual who defendant's lawyer.
A fucking serial killer? You know he's a serial killer.
These
Is
are
he,
all
is he freaking
A name
Saul
Jimmy
Goodman?
Good Lawyer?
Is he
That
just
guy's
Saul
murdered.
Goodman but with fundamental differences?
He is not. He charges a hefty fee of 10 gold pieces an hour, and he advertisements picture him as like a blue-skinned tiefling with a kind of very like stubbly like chin strap, a bit chubbier, short hair, and hair that of course is combed back because that's the fucking lawyer look. The picture they have him is doing finger guns towards the camera. Or quote unquote camera. It's
You
painting.
bastard. He's the Sihnion of lawyers.
There's Pantal, who is this is a turtle lawyer. They have a top hat and a monocle. You can see within their shell is a law degree from you can see half of it as it's sticking out, but it is does seem to be a legitimate law degree from somewhere in Enithar is all you're able to make out.
Mm-hmm.
That one charges, in comparison to Jimmy Goodlawyer, a meager 3 gold pieces per hour. And then there is a Niar Miss, who is, she seems to be in her later 30s, blonde hair that is cut very, very short, like the sides only grow out about an inch and the top grows out probably like 6 or 7 inches. She is dressed in a suit and has her knee up on a briefcase. Her heel is on top of the briefcase. And she claims, didn't do it, I can get you off. Did you do it? I could get you off. And she charges 5 silver pieces an hour. Those are 3 names of lawyers that you are able to get. 3 pieces of lore, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
Alastair and Drakmire, as you are walking around, you can see how truly impactful the difference is. It's been a minute since you've been here, Drakmire, so it is truly an elven city. Those kind of curved and swoopy and elegant and beautiful designs of elven culture are very much in place here. The kind of intertwined wood that knots making arches over alleyways. There is not one single corner of Athendelne that is not beautiful and well tended.
Yeah, not everything needs to be an arch.
Yes, some things need to be a slope.
There you go.
No,
It's like what's it called? It's
You
not
can have
deco,
edges
it's,
sometimes.
Is this just ancient Rome where they thought the arch was the epitome of everything alongside columns?
Isn't it
They
Art
say
Nouveau?
keystone. They mean it.
Yeah.
I don't think Alastair's ever been here, so he's just like, well, this
Art
is a
Nouveau,
city.
you mean?
Yeah, Nouveau. I
Alright.
thought it was something deco,
Like
but that's the
Art
opposite.
Nouveau or Art Deco?
Art Deco is what I imagine dwarven architecture looks more like.
Can I get
Anyway,
a quick update on both of your appearances? Human?
yes.
All right.
Small as he can be.
All right. And Drakmire.
5'4".
Currently, an old hobbling wizard, long flowing blue robes with silver and platinum trim, with the symbol of Bahamut on the back. Probably a fairly old symbol of Bahamut. Super wide, generic wizard hat, and has giant flowing white beard. Currently holding some sort of book.
Would you say that you look human?
Yes.
You going to the southwestern area, the Versaloon?
Alistair's first question as soon as they leave was going to be, do we have to stay looking like this?
How far are we from, like, the temple? Like, have we completely left it?
I assume so.
Oh, yeah, okay. Once they get fairly far away, once he's certain that no one is, like, looking, he'll shift to looking like an ordinary worker elf wearing, like, green clothes.
All right.
Alistair's
Elven man.
question, what should I turn into? Should I do an elf as well? Should I...
That is usually the status quo. Yeah. No one questions an elf around here. Unless you're doing something suspicious, of course.
But we are, but okay.
Not if you do your job right.
I mean, Alistair will just turn into an elven version of himself.
Nice.
No horns, no tail. It's like maybe an inch or two shorter.
Yeah.
Not as massive. They're like 6 foot tall instead of like 6'4". Yeah.
Huh, that'll do.
Same his normal outfit though. He likes his outfit.
Nice. Come now. And we'll start walking towards. Is there a particular part where it's more affluent and there might be like large sets of manors, like a place that Elwarin would set aside a manor to house an ally or family that were in town, something like that.
If Elwarin were doing that, he would have them staying near the castle, not within it, but near it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like, you could wander off there.
Yeah, we'll begin heading in that direction. And from my memory, is there any sort of like walls or barriers, stuff that we'll have to pass in order to get to the more affluent area?
Can you speak telepathically, Drakmire?
No, I cannot.
Oh god.
You can just read my thoughts, though, right? Oh, wait.
I'm trying to be helpful and do our job. We should be more mature.
He probably would have said that in normal elven voice.
Yeah.
Sorry, I like the Drakmire voice a lot.
I like to imagine that he switches back to Drakmire voice just to talk shit.
Yeah, he does it when there's like nobody around.
Yeah, there's no one around. It's just yep.
Yeah. What does Drakmire remember is required of such a thing?
Specifically, the area you're heading to, where Elwarin holds his personal guests, you would be previously identified as someone who is meant to enter there.
Gotcha. The problem is he doesn't want to be like, hey, yo, it's me, your boy, I'm here, when I'm saying I'm not.
That means you're not
Yeah.
Farrington. Fucking Silyra.
Yeah. Do I know if there's any sort of magical protection, or could we just walk past invisible?
You know that there is dispelling gateways into it. You're unsure if there's like no anti-magic. It would just dispels like illusions. So teleportation wouldn't be an issue, nor would being invisible and flying over the walls.
By chance, can you be invisible and teleport at the same time?
Me?
Yes, you.
Probably. Why
That
would I
might
use
be
that?
a virtue. Well, where we're going, there's going to be a number of arcane gates. They dispel any magic that passes through them.
Does it dispel all magic, or is it just what we're doing right now?
Yeah, it would dispel illusions and transmutations. You can't just simply walk past invisible. You can teleport to it through.
Yeah, I mean, normally I wouldn't go through the gate. I would just turn to an animal of some kind and go through one hole. I mean, every castle has cracks in the walls. That's why there's roaches.
Yeah, well, there you are.
So if there's anywhere that I would be watching, it would be the gates.
Would I know that the gates are specific to the gates, or is it like the whole fucking wall?
The gates, specifically where people walk through and enter this area.
Gotcha. Okay. That'll have to do.
Can you do that?
Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
I mean, I'm not worried about you. I'm just asking for clarity's sake.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Lead me there. What do you normally do on jobs like this?
Drakmire, you speak Elvish, correct?
I sure do.
Okay,
Been around Silyra long enough.
good to know. Then, for the sake of me knowing, so, Alastair, you are bugging in, correct?
I mean, what I was going to have him discuss was what's the general mode of operations for things like this for you? he wants to discuss the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Because they haven't actually picked anything. He's like, I don't know where we're going or what we're doing or how we're doing this. Are we separating? That's what I was saying. Like, what Dean said, then I wanted to talk about it.
Gotcha.
If that answers your question, Isaac, I'm sorry. The answer is I don't know yet.
Yeah, that would mean that I would need to know. This is a special area that's sort of set aside for special guests.
Mhm.
Is there any like affluent like taverns or something there that like anyone could like go and get a room at?
No, this is specifically, there are likely 3 or 4 manors here that are specifically set for individuals invited by royalty, not necessarily always Elwarin, but by members of, other points of government to stay at. There is nothing, there are taverns close by and like right outside the gates like that. Of course, capitalize on these usually affluent individuals who are invited here, but there is none within those walls.
Gotcha. Would there be any sort of like manors that would go like unused at times?
More often than not, they are unused.
Gotcha. Okay.
Question: these gates that you're talking about, do they dispel just spells or just all like spell-like abilities?
Isaac? Any idea?
You're uncertain. You're uncertain to the extent at which they dispel.
Ah, gotcha. He's proficient in Arcana, and I'm assuming if he's walked through one of them, he has plenty of spells that just kind of last. Like, if you walk through with invisibility, would it like drop the invisibility during the gate, or would you have to recast it afterward?
It would dispel it. It dispels.
Okay.
Alastair's asking, is this dispel magic, or if I were to, utilize creatures that can just naturally and racially make themselves invisible, is that dispelled?
That is something that would not be known.
Mm-hmm. Well, they tend to end spells. You would have to recast them.
Oh, normally I just utilize my imps.
Yes, I'm quite familiar.
Initial. Oh yeah, you've been watching, haven't you?
Sure have. And they're created from...
It's so weird. Did you follow my... What are they created from?
They're created from the spell, yes. Summoned forth familiars.
Yes.
I believe that they would get, well, eliminated. Unless they fly over it, of course, which I'm assuming they would.
So is this just like full on, like, the spell? Or are you just... Because earlier you said, like, transmutation. And
Well, yes, I utilize many schools.
so what are you going to do?
I have many plans. You don't need to worry about it.
I mean, literally I do. We're here as a pair. That's how that works. This is not a one-man show anymore.
Right, yes, of course.
One of us gets caught, we're both fucked, and that would require me to trust you fully. So, sorry about it.
I have spells that can turn me invisible, as well as keep me invisible, despite utilizing magic and such.
I meant like rendezvousing back inside, because, if I go through like a fucking crack in the roof, how the hell do I know where you are inside if you get in your way?
Right, yes, of course you'll have spider brain as well, which is always a problem.
My spider brain has solved many problems.
You can't deny that.
It also found an evil hammer once. It's a whole other story.
I know, I was there.
Rude.
Anyway, there are a number of manor houses, and some of them are occupied, some of them are not. I'm assuming that he's keeping her here as a temporary hold. Not, permanent. And he doesn't always have family in town. I'm not exactly sure of their location right now.
I mean,
not exactly something I've asked. So we might find an abandoned manor house that we can scout out from.
could you...
Or we could simply stay nearby, scout out from there. There's a number of taverns.
Is you blocking my mind reading by choice, or is that just some bullshit thing that just is wrong with you?
Oh no, you can't get in.
No matter what?
No.
Well, damn. There goes an easy option.
I would be a rather poor spy if I did.
I meant, like, could you willingly let me in? But I assume it's something similar to what Reezni did to me.
Something like that.
Oh, I was going to say, let me read your mind. If you know what the inside of this building looks like, I can just scry on it. I can target more than just people.
Like I said, I don't know what manor house they're in. They might not even be here at all. They might be somewhere else. However, the likelihood that they are here is quite high.
No. He's like, we got 3 days. We can check them all without having to risk going inside of them if that was the case. But
Yes, I was never going to go inside. Go
The
inside
hell
one of the. Go inside one of the empty ones. It's quite easy to tell if they're occupied or if they're running by a skeleton crew.
oh, we're just gonna jack one of these as like a base while we're here.
That's an option. Or we could find a tavern nearby. Rent a room, stay there, scout out from the inside. I don't have to leave.
How are you scouting from outside?
Something similar that you can do.
You're being really vague for someone I'm trying to help.
Yes, yes. I believe you'll cast a similar spell. You criticized him pretty heavily for it.
Gotta be more specific.
Are you familiar with
Oh.
Arcane Eye?
Oh, yeah. That spell's funny.
A simpler version of scrying, but quite effective. Very long term.
So what are we looking for here? Just her? Like, what's your actual goal?
We're looking for her. Looking to find out if her associates are here, how many guards she has, anything like that.
Are we doing any, guerrilla warfare, cut off resources, or are we waiting till everyone's here?
Let's not cause a scene. Try not to cause problems. Nothing like that.
I wouldn't cause a scene. I'd just do my job.
Yes, and you're very good at it. However, we must be careful.
And if we get caught, backup plan.
If we get caught, then we leave.
That simple?
Yes, I can bring us elsewhere.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I really don't like putting faith in you. Because you're not on our side, really. Are you?
Oh, but I am.
Do you get what you want? It's about survival, I get it. You want your thing back and you don't want to, have the plane be destroyed.
I'd say that's pretty long term.
Depends. With how old you are, how long is long?
You're right, it does tend to get a bit blurry. But yes, this has been a long time coming, and something that must be prevented if that time is to continue.
Lead the way, then.
Follow then. Continue walking towards the affluent districts.
Yep.
Alright. Easily enough moving in that direction. Which point, what are you getting up to, Sihnion?
Talking to my dad.
What's away?
Dad.
I'm just gonna vibe with your dad for a while.
Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, they're doing research. Sihnion believes in the process.
It's been a while since the man's seen his dad.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Let the sad
we got
boy
like
see
7
his
days.
papa.
It's fine. It's fine.
We said like 3 days. Check.
For the before we get arrested and have to go to court.
Oh, well, we're going back to Athendelne before then, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, just run from
Yeah,
the law.
just run, Smile.
I'm sorry, is Tinkodran going to invade Athendelne for us?
No, it's called When We Come Back.
Who the fuck's coming back?
I'm one of the idiots who lives here.
Let's take your dad with us.
Then I will ask Silyra and Reezni what your next query for research is.
I'm gonna look at how I think we can best build a legal defense.
Alright.
I mean, we're innocent. I don't think it's one guy's word against the rest of us. I think we're fine.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check. So for this, I believe you only get one piece of information. So it seems like the most pressing piece of evidence against you is the fact that
There's a mecha.
well, mainly the fact that this individual reported, like you did report certain aspects of, being kidnapped, possibly, and has no has no motive to lie about it. There is no past between you two individuals before this night, and it is kind of the leading through, like, this person did see you go in and was kidnapped by you, they would have no reason to report you beyond, actually seeing this. So I guess the main thing that would have to be proven is that you did not, in fact, hold this man hostage. But also, like, if you are convicted of that, that is, like, one thing. And proving yourself innocent from the giant mecha is, first off, your inability to interact with it until recently. And also, like, if you show them properly, like, the bodies of illithids, if they are still down there, that might serve, because you're unsure and uncertain how deep they went into this area. But that's the information you get from that.
Can I look at the track record of the lawyers, or are they just the best three?
Sure. Go ahead and make intelligence check.
That's a 10.
He's a moron, but he's my
A
moron.
10 nets you one piece of information.
What's the track record of the good lawyer?
Of Jimmy Good Lawyer?
Yeah.
He has never lost a case.
Hmm.
So, that's, of course, very...
How many has he done though? It's easy to say I have a 100% win rate and you've won one match, so...
He appears to have done somewhere in the range of 40.
Oh, okay. That's decent. What
Bet you this bitch is a small claim where trying to get some hype.
do I know what kinds of crimes he's gotten people free with? Or
I'll say with a 10, it's a bit of a stretch to get that deep
Okay.
into research for now. But moving back to the other continent, you are approaching the wall. And as Alastair mentioned, there are subtle imperfections within the wall, tiny cracks here and there, that would allow a small enough insect or arachnid to sneak into.
How close are the taverns or in establishments from the wall?
Very close. There is a road that goes alongside the wall. This almost like a shining, so clean road of cobblestone goes alongside this wall, which has many differing columns. You could see about 10 feet away on the opposite end of the road from that wall, there are taverns and markets. Not necessarily the huge market that exists within Athendelne, but certainly like a smaller style market that is meant to appeal specifically to these individuals, with very much a kind of a highbrow society feel to this area.
Elitist je ne sais quoi.
Drakmire will find a spot where there are not many eyes, and will change the outfit of the commoner elven man to a more fancy outfit.
Fancy smanchy, pretty much.
Yeah. Clean the hair and the face and everything. Yeah, he'll step into one of the taverns. Follow my lead. It's not that hard. Just finding a room.
He's just like, sure, I'll follow you. I'm doing it your way, which involves me mostly just being quiet.
Mhm.
That way it's your fault when we die.
Yeah, we'll step into the tavern. I don't know. I don't know
Daddy.
what it is.
All right. You step into one of them, and you are immediately greeted by a beautiful interior of stripped wood. You can see that the coloration in here, the ambience, is once again very highbrow. Immediately to your left, as soon as you enter, you can see a around 20-year-old human kind of bow to you and say, "Welcome, my lieges. How may I assist you today? Would you like a room? Would you like a spot of wine? How may I best assist you?"
Yes, hello. I would like a room and a spot of wine. Would be wonderful. Give us a bottle. Something nice.
Of course. And which room would you prefer? Are you looking for something that is perhaps a little bit more on the expensive side, or something that is more frugal?
Yes, something on the more expensive side would be wonderful.
Right. That will be 15 gold pieces for the night, and for a bottle of wine, that will be 5 gold pieces. Just for your own bookkeeping, of course, you pay as you leave.
Of course. Thank you.
Here, and he presents you a beautiful silver key with a single blue gem in it. The gemstone will match the one upon your door, sir.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
He bows and gestures to the staircase that is at the center of this room. To your left and to your right, as you head deeper in beyond this kind of receptional area, to your left and to your right are both bars where some very highbrow individuals are sitting. Royalty, even, well, not royalty, but people of high regard. But based off of who you expect to see, these are quite. It's still quite a difference between these people and who you intend to eventually come across.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's affluent, but not like really fucking affluent.
Yeah.
It's the weed session. Everything's so high.
Especially the gold prices. Goddamn.
Alastair will ask Drakmire, "Should I waste my time reading their minds, or
They're empty, anyways.
probably?"
But yes, perhaps.
Sure. We'll use our once per day casting.
All right. Then you see these individuals appear. Kind of like as the spell is cast, you feel this. It's almost repulsive how the entitlement that comes through in this.
Oh no, these are Silyra's people.
Detect
Oh,
thoughts.
no.
You detect entitlement. That's all you get.
You see a particular disdain for on both sides for the individuals working the bar, claiming they're taking too long, the drink wasn't made perfectly, or otherwise. Particular disdain for the individuals cleaning their rooms. They don't feel comfortable with humans being the staff here.
I made jokes that Silyra's home was super racist, but this is kind of upsetting how bad it actually is. Imagine if they saw us in our real forms.
I like to not think of that.
They'd die of culture shock. Where's our room?
This way. Start walking.
Climb the carpeted staircase. Looking immediately left and right, there is beautifully displayed signs that point in your particular room. Eventually you make it to a fairly wide door that has a blue gemstone upon it.
We'll unlock the door.
Unlock the door, enter in a space that is certainly far too large for the building that accommodates it.
Oh no.
Please tell there's only one bed.
There's only one bed.
Hell yeah. Aw, so much for our honeymoon.
Dracostair? What?
Alastair's gonna say that out loud to Drakmire. He's fucking with him. This is fun.
He rolls his eyes, and will tap his temple twice, and will cast detect magic.
All right. There's magic going on, but it's transmutation, not conjuration. Doesn't seem to be
Gotcha.
opening a portal to somewhere else. It just makes it bigger.
So it doesn't seem to be some sort of demi-plane or anything like that?
It does not.
That is good.
Yes, I'm
Interesting.
suspicious. Well, that's a lie. You're always suspicious. Anything in particular?
Oh. No, it's nothing. I'm assuming that the door is closed.
You close the door.
No. No, we're shouting out loud in the open doorway. They both became idiots.
Hey, you never
Oh
know.
no,
You're attacked
Alistair
on the
took off
spot.
his headband.
Hair with your blood.
Is there anything else magical in the room?
There's not, but there is a bucket of ice with wine within it.
Oh, at least they brought that part.
He reverts back into his normal, rather looming form.
Oh, well, Alistair turns to say that, and you're like, oh, never mind, you're a dragon again.
Yes.
Thank God. Alistair will turn back into how he actually looks, too. Finally.
All right, now we can begin.
Haven't even poured the wine yet. Oh, you meant the mission. Sorry.
Yes. One's really just a commodity. I have my own. She will reach into the dark shadow of his robe and pull out a wine bottle.
I love how Drakmire's like, I'm not tolerating this stupidity. Wait, hold on. There's 2 wines?
Yeah, he just reaches into like the absolute darkness of his robe and pulls out a wine bottle and then pulls out a wine glass.
Is that the item I think it is? If it is, it's the original item I picked for Alastair alongside his scythe that I ended up getting rid of.
It's a
Woo!
mystery. He's then going to pour the wine and seems to have a rather infernal smell. It's got the scent of brimstone to it.
Now that sounds more fun than this boring shit. Can I have a glass?
Oh, sure. You'll
Lovely.
another wine glass.
Now these are some useful parlor tricks. We'll enjoy some wine.
He'll take a sip of that and we'll sit down on one of the beds. Right, now to business. And he will reach up to above his shoulder and like scratch something. All right, it's your turn. Go now. And he will kind of move his hand forward, and this flash of green magic moves forward, and before it kind of vanishes to invisibility, as he casts Arcane Eye.
All right, where are you moving it?
We'll mage hand the window open just a crack.
All right.
And then send it out over the wall into the compound.
All right. Looking through it, you could see 4 houses here, each of them a separate coloration, and each of them with a very large yard. Looking over them, you can see a green house, a blue house, a purple house, and a kind of silver gray house. Currently, the red house has a couple people moving in and out of it. You can see what appears to be 2 servant boys currently moving large crates into this red house. And in the yards of each of these houses, you can see like almost like a white top, a completely flat piece of stone that is surrounded by beautifully gnarled wooden roots that all have blooming flowers on them. And upon each of these yards, within each of these yards, in this on this stone space, is a teleportation circle.
Oh, oh shit! That's interesting.
So, after all the crates have been moved within, you see these 2 individuals leave and eventually come back hauling what appears to be some kind of large chair, almost like a throne, that is kind of has to be disassembled and then taken inside, and you assume reassembled unless you follow them in. Do you follow them in?
He will say first, you can get your imps out if you want. Just be careful.
Alastair's already summoned them. Except Alastair's going to pick a different thing this time.
Oh.
Thinking he might. Sadly, the imps are fun, but no.
The imps can turn into other things. Can't they?
But yeah, they have all the abilities of an imp. They're just imps.
I couldn't remember if they would shape change or not. Or that was
They do. They are just They are statistically an imp stat block. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they do for themselves. But I forget what forms they have.
I think it's pro rat.
I think that's it. I'm checking.
There's like
A
4.
raven.
Okay, there we go. No. The thing I was looking for is he was either going to summon spiders, but I'm like, I think the imps can become spiders. So let me look at their sheet before I say that. Yes, that is one of the 3 forms. Yes, it is rat, raven, spider, or imp.
You turn them into spiders?
We're going to ask them to turn into little spiders, please, because that's smaller, harder to see.
They turn into little spiders.
They're the little dancing ones, I imagine.
They are the little dancing ones, except sadly he's going to make them dull in color. Similar to the same pattern he sees of the buildings.
Yep, makes sense.
Smart. By the way, feel free to say anything. I know you can't hear me, but I can always hear you. Feel free to keep me updated.
Are you referring to when I use my thing with my familiars, or are you referring to hearing my brain?
No, when you look through their eyes.
Oh, okay, good. I was just like, hold up, excusez-moi. Okay, yeah. Sorry, he's still very on the fence with Drakmire's literally everything.
Well, he's fine.
He's like, I'm a sussy bitch, and you're sussy.
He's sussier.
What are you
But
having
yeah.
your imp spiders doing?
Which house are we looking at?
Is the red roofed one seems to be habited?
Indeed.
Yeah. Check the one with the red roof.
Time to go, boys. All three of them. Let's dash. Use that 40-foot movement speed.
Yeah, very much a little bit for them. Getting through the wall.
Spider dash.
Are you having them go over the wall or through cracks?
Through the cracks.
All right.
He just wants to see if they actually are all the way through. That's standard as well.
You can like choose 3 different cracks. You know, just to plot out your best route. They eventually meet up on the other side, and you begin walking towards, or they begin walking towards the large, bloated red house. There is a large door that is there. That's for its size, it has one fatal flaw. The gaps from the roof and the ground are fucking enormous, so easily enough to sneak right through.
Perfect.
Making it in.
He'll tell out loud to Drakmire that they're in.
Good. Yes, I can see them now. As you will send the eye in a similar location, going above the door.
Mm-hmm.
I, by the way, is invisible. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think it doesn't actually, but in your mind it goes as it squelches through the tongue.
Said Alastair will every 5 minutes he'll order the spiders to stop and drop the connection for 30 seconds just to do a check-in with Drakmire. Just to continue coordinating their moves, because he's gonna have the spiders split up. So he'll be jumping between each of the 3.
All right, awesome.
There's levels to this house, right?
There are approximately there are 3 stories that are visible from from the outside. There may be some below, but you're
we're just gonna run with the consensus of what we can see is at least this many is what we'll say.
All right.
To keep track of.
You head into the interior. What first greets you is a well-kept entryway. You could see an armor stand where it seems to be gracefully misused with a simple coat at the moment. Leading further in, you can hear, or do you get any noise from?
I do not get any audio from Arcane Eye.
But
I think you can swap between it.
You cannot. I'm always aware of my own senses. I just receive visual information from the eye, but it doesn't get audio at all.
Oh, well, Alastair will share senses of what he hears through the spiders.
All right. Yeah.
Thought it was like an action you can swap between seeing and hearing.
No.
That may be a different spell I'm thinking of.
Well, Arcane Eye is great, but it is if you know where you're going, it is just scrying, but it's still very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the purpose of what it's used for.
You hear the sounds of almost like construction, like tools being used. If you choose to follow that sound, you would end up in a room where you can see it appeared to be previously like a living space. There is a sofa, there is 3 chairs, there was a table. These seems to have all been pushed to the side, and a large carpet has been unrolled, and there is several of these crates that were being put in have been opened, and several nails are being driven into the walls. Important to say, these servant boys do not seem as though they are Elven or from Athendelne. And
Are they humans?
they appear to be one of them is a humanoid, the other one is a tiefling of very, very, very bright pink skin, and they appear to be driving nails into the walls and hanging certain artifacts. You can see there is a beautiful painting of Dana Luertfan. There is a very brilliant coloration of stone, almost like a gemstone that is constantly changing in coloration. There is a long coat that seems to be adorned with scales of some kind. Don't seem to be dragon scales to your eye, Drakmire, but seem to be scales of something that you probably have not encountered. There are several pieces of pottery and porcelain that are also being put on display. All this before they put together very quickly, almost like they've done this like a million times before. They nailed together this throne that was brought in from outside. Immediately after this is done, you hear the tiefling call out. What languages do you understand, Alastair?
Oh God. On top of my head, I know it's common, infernal, celestial, sylvan, primordial, something else, draconic.
You hear a phrase called out in Elvish.
She will repeat it back, saying, "This is the shit Silyra says. I don't know what this means."
The chamber is ready, mistress. And
She will drop out of the familiars to hopefully have Drakmire translate this for him.
Mm-hmm. He will.
Then he will re-enter.
Re-entering.
Yeah.
See a masked woman walk into the room. A glowing coloration of red mask that is upon this woman's face, almost like the shape of like some kind of dragon.
Hey, Drakmire, I found what you're looking for.
She
Yes, I see.
walks over to this scaled robe and puts it on. She holds a hand out to the portrait of Dana Luertfan and like kind of moves it, like stroking it across the face, before like kind of nearly cutting it, but not actually cutting it with her nails as she drags past. You can see a bed of long hair that kind of just extends outward from beyond the mask. Kind of a tan coloration of skin on this woman who kind of very slowly sits down, and the eyes of the mask begin glowing a bright red, and a conversation will start out between these two individuals in common. So you're certain she cannot... She doesn't know anything of what we are doing right now, says the tiefling. And as far as I know, this is... she cannot perceive us right now. There's nothing that she can tell. It's just, right. Let's be quick. And you see them start taking things off of these nails. They take the portrait, they take the porcelain, they stuff it into the crates, they grab them, and they begin walking towards the exit. You see them going for the door, and suddenly they go to tug on it. It does not open. She can't. You were certain. He starts pulling on the doorknob, harder. It begins juddering. You see, as one of these spiders likely stay in the room, and one probably is to keep fair eyes on all the house. You see, as this jiggling of the doorknob is going on, the coloration of the eyes begins to die down. The woman looks left. The woman looks right.
And yeah. Big mistake there.
Stands up and begins walking.
We will break from our familiars again.
Yes.
You don't look happy.
No, not on the slightest.
Is that your precious little mask?
Yes, it is.
Well, I guess that means we've at least found something we're looking for.
That is true. At least you know she's here. Oh, she's totally gonna kill them.
Yeah, you see.
I take it.
Drakmire currently sees her walking that way.
Oh. Well, I guess we'll go back then. Let's watch the show. Also, we're going to have the two other imps also search other parts of the house while this is happening.
All right. right. Sounds good.
But they're just looking for entrances, windows, making marks of everything
mhm.
they can.
All right. You hear, as you cut back, steal from me. You hear like a heavily altered voice. This does not seem like this individual's normal. But that is the last bit of some phrase that you hear set out, and you can see these two individuals, as she holds a hand out, are simply lifted and slammed into the ground, and they become humanoid pancakes, as it were, as they immediately are just compressed.
Oh. Yeah, she's scary. A little scary.
Yeah, just a bit.
Just a smidgen, you know, just casually turning people into pancakes, as you do.
Well, you couldn't kill a commoner that easily.
I'm not saying that.
Of course you aren't, Mitch. You're a commoner yourself.
No, I'm an eldritch horror, and I'm not even here right now. Why are you crazy? Why are you talking to yourself, stupid? Stupid ass bitch.
Well, then,
I can see through the fourth wall. So
I gotta get out of here.
her belongings.
Now that's a wonderful feature of your magic item.
run. It won't save you.
They're in my walls, they're in my walls, they're in my walls, they're in my walls, they're in my
A
walls.
dragon can't burst through your fucking wall.
They're in my walls, they're in my walls, they're in my walls, they're in my walls.
Begins putting up her materials again, and then sits down once again. You hear previously unlocked lock somewhere within the house. Lock. You see, even in a different room, you could see like a chain lock be put on the door, one that was previously left open, and her eyes once again begin glowing bright red. And we're gonna go to break.
Oh shit.